So fantastic. Again, welcome guys to our fourth, maybe fifth episode. Again, it's pre-recorded, so we don't know where we're going to place it. So yes, again, forgive us. A couple of technical bugs. Something's going to kick off. Some eagle-eyed might be able to spot it, but that's absolutely sound. We're not professionals, no experts, just a couple of cameras and a couple of guys. So yeah, man. So just want to introduce Big Ed. Ed's just come over. So Ed, thank you so much coming over from Derby. Ed's a big part of my life. Someone who I sat through treatment with and had many wise words for each other. Do you know what I mean? And we still share this journey today, although we don't see each other often. We know you're there, innit? We know we're there on the end of the phone. So someone highly respected within my circle and highly respected within the recovery community. And don't want to say it too much, but you're a champ, you know what I mean? I consider you a champ, you know what I mean? You're definitely a rock that, you know, many look to, and not just recovery, just your own personal wisdom as well, man. So
Thank you
respect to that. I really, really highly respect that, Ed. So yeah, in your own time, man, just, you know, this is again more about you, not my recovery. You know, your journey, who you are, what you're about, and how you came to be.
Okay, man. Yeah, thanks for inviting me. Yeah, when you first asked me, you know, there was a part of me that kind of like, don't want to do it, don't want to be on camera and share my story. And I sat still for a moment and I realized that even if one person gets something, yeah, then it's worth it, you know? So, yeah, what I've gained through recovery, yeah, why wouldn't I try and share, you know? So, like I was speaking to you just a little bit ago, for me, if I could get it, anyone can get it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I rocked up to treatment the last time at the age of 53, with no hope. Yeah, thinking that, is this my life? There was a small part of me that was like, I hope this can work for me this time. Do you know what I mean? But there was a large part of me that was just like, yo, I don't even know, but you know what, let me just go and see. Yeah. But here I am today, because I've been given a lot of love, a lot of help, to get to this point. And I still have that love and I still have that help. I grew up, you know, thinking that men should be able to deal with everything that life throws at them. And on a very personal level, I wanted to be that capable man that, you know, was able to manage life and deal with life and be the guy that I thought I was. Even though the evidence of how my life panned out was that, yo, I wasn't doing life very well. Do you know what I mean? So how did it all start? I mean, the beginnings is, you know, I was born in the west coast of Africa, but I grew up in South London. I always like to mention Stockwell. Most people don't know Stockwell when you mention Stockwell, but when I say it was a mile away from Brixton, most people will have heard of Brixton. Do you know what I mean? So I grew up in an environment which was, it seemed very tense, troublesome, difficult, you know, but when I look back now, I know many people that grew up in the very same environment who made none of the choices I did. Do you know what I mean? So it was easy for me to blame my environment, or to see that as the cause of the path that I took, and to feel justified in thinking like that. But the truth was, now because I have a bit more knowledge, and some like basic tools to deal with what life throws at me, I recognize that had nothing to do with that. Do you know what I mean? I made choices that were not the best choices to make. You know, so I grew up in South London. I had a good upbringing, even though it was a single parent family. My mum brought me up on her own. Her and my dad had split up when I was quite young, but she loved me. I never went without food. I always had shelter. I always had what I needed. I think that the discontent started because I didn't have what I wanted. Yeah, I didn't have the trainers other men had, the coats, or I didn't look like how other people looked and how I wanted to look. Why? Because I wanted to fit in. Yeah, I wanted to be a part of. I felt within myself that I was missing out somehow, you know. So I grew up wanting to be okay, but not feeling okay inside. So I learned very quickly to wear a facade, a mask, a persona, to be who I felt I should be. Do you know what I mean? Or who I needed to be able to get through that very same environment of South London. Do you know what I mean? So went through school, and even though I was bright, I was happier messing about. I was happier kind of like, how much joke can I bust in class, and how much can I make people laugh, and you know. But when I look back now, I recognise that a lot of that was just basic insecurity. Many times in class where what I needed to do was put my hand up and say, "Sir, miss, I don't understand that. Can you help me?" Because of my own pride and insecurity, I didn't do that because I didn't want to feel shame. Do you know what I mean? But that very same principle followed me throughout my life. Even though I didn't want to feel shame, I ended up doing a lot of things that brought shame to me and to the people that I love. Do you know what I mean? So, left school, wanting to fit into the guys who were on the estate and the estates around me that had that air of bit of danger, like what at the time I thought was respect, but mainly it was fear. Do you know what I mean? People were afraid of them because they moved in a certain way and did certain things. So I started smoking weed when I was about 13 because I wanted to fit in with those very same guys. But that started me on a road that, lasted from over 3 decades. Do you know what I mean? So I started smoking weed at 13, started taking weed to school, built a bit of a reputation in school for being a supposedly bad boy. Not that I was any better than anybody else, but it's just the way things roll, innit? So when I left school, I wanted to be an achiever. I really did. Do you know what I mean? But because I'd started medicating myself, really, and because I thought that was the solution, I very quickly progressed into harder and different drugs. Even though I had wonderful opportunities in my life, don't get this twisted, you know what I mean? I had opportunities to do some really good jobs when I was quite young. I went on to college and, got a couple of qualifications, and there was an opportunity for me to do so much. But I wanted to be cool, or what I thought was cool. Do you know what I mean? So my head had learnt that life seemed better if I was high. You know what I mean? And I embraced that. I really took that on board and thought I was, the coolest thing. But at the end of the day, I was not addressing my internal insecurities, my internal struggle.
And I take it, just from what you shared as well, I take it your environment and your elders and the people that you was looking up to, drugs was a part of that lifestyle and that culture.
Every single day. Everywhere you turned, do you know what I mean? And I grew up in an environment, I came up in a time where, the Brixton riots, and a lot of people won't know, but at the time there was a special police force at that time called the SPG, Special Patrol Group, who were quite militant. Do you know what I mean? And they what we know is they took liberties with people, so it felt like a war zone. Do you know what I mean?
Almost like the LA riots.
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen a documentary on what Brixton was like, and in the comparison.
Lots of tension. Lots of tension. And so you've got tension with police on the streets. You've got tension with, if you come from this estate compared to that estate, there could be tension, depending on how big of a character you were. If you were a big enough character, you could go anywhere. But if you weren't a big enough character, then all of a sudden it's like you have to be wary where you go and who you go with and what might happen and so on and so forth. So you leave your house on point. You leave your house kind of prepared for anything to kick off, and that's very stressful. Do you know what I mean? I didn't think that at the time, but it was very stressful. So it's a form of like trauma. You know what I mean? Every day is traumatic. And because of my upbringing and because of the people I knew and because of some of the things that we did, whether that was crime and everything that went with that, selling drugs, dealing drugs, using drugs, different types of crime. I'm not here to do like a big catalogue of the things that I did because that's not the point. Do you know what I mean? But I did most things.
Yeah.
But in that, I lost people along the way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And those traumas I didn't even really acknowledge because I just blacked them out by using. You know, so I progressed. I was lucky enough to I had a cousin who ran a security firm, so I kind of like was doing security, committing crime. So it kind of gave me a certain kind of respectability in the sense that I could pay my bills, I could do what I needed to do, but yet I was also up to stuff on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So as I progressed, big clubs, I was head doorman by the age of 19, which all that did was, I mean, it gave me more money, but at the end of the day, it opened the door to a different world. Do you know what I mean? So I thought I was the coolest thing there was, but I was just self-medicating all the time. Do you know what I mean? And when I started using was fun.
Yeah.
It was, because if it was horrible from the get-go, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But it was fun, but I didn't understand and didn't know that at some point it would start to take from me more than it was giving me.
Do you know what? I'm pleased. Like, we know you, so, and I know you from what you've shared before. Your security firm had taught you with big names around big places around the world.
Oh yeah.
And I like the fact that, you know, your understanding of that now isn't what it was. It was the torture that was going on inside. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people use an understanding or masquerading an old self as part of that ego, right?
Yeah,
the same
sure.
part of that ego that was getting ready, 18 years old. You got to fix up, look sharp, leave the house in the middle of Brixton.
Do your thing.
Do your thing, right?
Yeah.
But broken inside.
Oh, no doubt.
Broken inside. And you know, that's what I'm trying to capture as well, you know. Many lives we walk through, you know what I mean? Many people we meet, many personas, many titles, many badges, many kind of things. No, people very rarely talk about their feelings. You know what I mean? What was going on for you? You know what I mean?
The majority of the time, it's fear, anxiety. I didn't acknowledge that then. You know what I mean? Because I was internally discontent, so I'm externally overcompensating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want to appear like I've got it all together.
Yeah.
And it's only like through growing up and being able to change, that I now look back at the majority of the people that I grew up with, realizing that they were going through the very same things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But all of us were going through the same trauma in that sense of who we thought we should be. Do you know what I mean? And that was, it was more difficult than I was willing to admit. Yeah. So when relationships turned up and I started having children, you know, because of this supposed persona, I'm the guy that I think that if I bring home a certain amount of money, I'm doing enough. Like the emotional like support and engagement that my family needed, I wasn't able to give.
Never present.
I could be there.
Yeah.
But I'm in my zone.
I've seen it. I've seen it myself so many times. I've seen it myself, and you hear of it often. And you know what I mean? It's almost like from, you know, obviously for me it weren't Brixton. It was the middle of Normanton. But you see it so often where it's almost an acceptance from the family, even though they know the family member is doing X, Y, and Z. It's cool because times are hard, and that little £100 or 200
Makes a
quid, or that
difference.
little piece of money was, you know what, that's going to fill that empty fridge over there.
No doubt.
So you carry on doing what you're doing, we need a pound of meat when you come back.
Yeah, make that happen.
Make that happen and carry on. There'll be a warm bed here for you.
Yeah.
You know, and I see and I hear that.
I mean, it was, like I was saying, that it felt like I was a man in it.
Yeah.
It felt like I was a man.
Yeah.
But as I said earlier, that, you know, it came a time where drugs started to take more from me than it was given to me. You know, and I didn't want to admit that, even though things started to break up. So in the sense that will break down, my relationships didn't work. You know, my interactions with my children wasn't working. My interactions with my mother, my close family, and extended family was becoming distant. I didn't want to admit that. I just thought I just needed to try harder. I needed to do this harder. So I didn't really stop to look at how do I fix myself, because I didn't think that I needed to fix myself. I thought I needed to fix everything externally.
For everyone else.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I got the right car, if I had enough money, if my gal looked like this, or if I moved with these man, or if I started doing this bit of work, or if I started doing this movement, then maybe, not even maybe, but then that would make things better. Yeah. So as I progressed from weed to sniffing coke to then using like crack and heroin, I'd crossed like an invisible line. Yeah, where my life is now like I am dependent. Yeah, my life is based now on I need to get what I need to use.
Because how old was you when you crossed that line? Where did
I think like the first time I was about 24, 25.
So young then,
Yeah,
still,
man.
baby.
Yeah, because you got to imagine that.
That's
Yeah,
baby.
you got to imagine that. I started doing doors at 16. By 19, I was running one of the biggest clubs in London.
Yeah.
So I had access to more than most people had.
Yeah.
So by the time I hit 25, I've been at it for like, you know what I mean, a good 6-7 years strong. And I woke up Christmas Day, I think I was about 25, and I didn't even have a card for my mum.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a consideration. Do you know what I mean? And that day, I thought to myself, this is not good. Yeah. But I'd crossed that line. So it was like, even though I ain't got a card for my mum, yeah, if I make the right calls, I can get some gear and I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be all right. So just put it to the back of my mind. But that progressed. So relationship breakups, you know, like those resets and restarts, going back to my mum's or moving out and living with somebody and have to go back to my mum's and start again. Wonderful opportunities coming my way. But it wasn't as if like it all just disappeared. Do you know what I mean? In my mid to late 20s, I started doing bodyguarding work. Like you were saying, I got an opportunity to travel around the world, meet some of the biggest stars in the world, but it still wasn't enough. Do you know what I mean? It didn't matter how much money I was making. I was making good money. Yeah, but when I came back, I'd go back to the ends. Yeah, I'm back. I got a bag of money. What are we doing? I know what we're doing. We're using. Do you know what I mean? And that became my priority. I was more concerned with making my friends high than making sure that my family had everything that they needed. I would give my family, but nothing near what I could have done. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, that financially I could have given a lot more, but emotionally, psychologically, do you know what I mean? Like with my heart, lovingly.
Yeah.
You know, so one of the things that really I thought about when I was coming here is that I remember sitting in a lot of places and we thought we had a code, or we had a code that we lived by, and that code was based on what am I willing to do for those that I love the most, and how dark could that be? And the darker it could be, that meant the more I loved you. Yeah. And I remember once, you know, I was 28 years old and I wrote this, like everything that I wanted to ever say to my mum in a notepad, in a book, A4 book, you know, and she read it, she cried, and we cried together, and she said, look, I want you to live for me. I don't want you to die for me. I don't want you to kill for me. I just want you to live for me. And that broke a part of me inside. Do you know what I mean? And around that time is when I thought, I need to do something about this. Yeah? Really didn't know what to do. Didn't know about, and if the only time I'd heard about rehab is people with money paying to go big rehab and sit down for a while and come back. Yeah, I didn't know there were rehabs you could go to and didn't have to pay. Yeah, so I was blessed that because of the direction my life took and through, like, listen, like the powers that be, the creation of itself, the universe conspired to help me. Yeah, and an opportunity to go to a rehab presented itself. And I didn't go to the rehab because I really wanted to change. I went to the rehab because I didn't want to lose my relationship. First rehab I went, and I went back there 3 times, and each time it was only to save my relationship. What I really wanted was the ability to be able to use successfully.
And keep the consequences at bay. Keep the family happy.
Yeah.
I'll
Just
see you in
keep it
6
moving.
months whenever it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was, I'd go, went to rehab. I went to the same rehab 3 times.
This is in
over
London,
a period
right?
of time. Yes. Well,
Done,
they're based in London. The head but they move you to, you do your first 3 months in London and you move to Wales.
Right.
Yeah. And that came with its own challenges. Yeah. So being a man of colour in a rehab that's like 35, sometimes 38 strong, and being the only man of colour, that had its own lessons to be learned.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we were all there for the same reason.
We'll come on to that. We'll come on to that. Because when we was up the road,
we're all there for the same reason.
Yeah.
So I embarked on this road to try and change my life. Yeah. But for a long time, I thought that all I needed to do was stop using. The real changes that needed to happen for me, to be able to live a different life, I didn't know about. I didn't internally know that there were some fundamental things that the last treatment center that I went through, one of the staff members used to say to me quite a lot, there are some things that you believe about yourself in life that are just not true. And until you get you get like an understanding of that, you're not going to be able to move forward. Yeah. And it took me a good period of time to see that I just believed some stuff that was just rubbish. Yeah. Like there's basic things like, a man has to be strong. Do you know what I mean? And be able. But what does that mean? Yes, sometimes my kids just needed me to hold their hand and go to the shop, or to sit down next to them and watch a TV program. I didn't have to be this like, I got this, don't worry. Yeah, but I'm unapproachable.
Yeah.
That made no sense. Do you know what I mean? So I did these 3 rehabs. The 3rd time, and I so imagine the first time I went into rehab was like 2000. Yeah, and I went back there 2005 to 2006. And then I went back again in 2016. Yeah, so 2016 I've gone through the rehab again, and I went on to stay there a bit longer because I've been home twice and it didn't work. Yeah, simply because when things got tough at home, I didn't know how to say to other people, things are tough at home. Can you help me?
Yeah.
I just thought, I just got to try harder. There's something that I'm just not doing enough.
So part of that ego is still walked into treatment.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Still, I mean, this is what you say. They said, drop that self, drop that part of you that you walked in with. And I said, what does that mean?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I didn't have a clue.
This is, listen, talk to us about your feelings. Forget the guy that was out there. Leave that guy out the door before you come in. And that's just knocking on the door. So what does that mean?
Yeah, help me.
I don't understand what you're saying. I'm here. That was then. But a part of that, how we grew up, how we had that persona, how we carried ourselves and masqueraded men of some kind of caliber, of what we thought in our, whether we was or wasn't.
That's right.
In our minds, or realistically or not. Ego, pride, culture, belief systems that didn't even belong to us. These belief systems didn't even belong to us, and we indoctrinated them, walked into rehab and pretending like we were okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So when someone says to us, how are you feeling? We say, what do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm cool, man. How are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm cool. So I get that feelings underneath, untapped emotion. And I was speaking to someone just the other day, and he said to me, it took me 5 years to understand how to name a feeling.
That's right. I get that.
And I went, wow, 5 years.
Yeah, I get that. I get it.
And it's the same thing going back to what you were saying. Walking through many a rehab and not knowing what was going on inside.
Yeah.
Because I'm that guy. I know guy. I'm that guy that says, I'm cool, how are you? I'm that guy who won't show what's actually going on inside. I know there's something going on. But half the time I didn't even know how to, how do I verbalize this? How do I articulate what's going on for me? Do you know what I mean? How do I how do I wake my roommate up 11 o'clock at night, you know, and say, yo, I don't know what's going on with me. How do I go downstairs in the group in the morning and just like, I feel like breaking down, but I can't.
Yeah.
I'm in a house full of 15 men. And for me to come downstairs and say, yo, I feel broken. Someone talk to me because I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's deep.
Hard work, man.
Yeah, it's deep.
Hard work. And this is what people underestimate as well. You know, like, why didn't rehab work for you? Or what happened? Why did you leave so early? You know, for me, I know many a time for me was, I didn't really know what was going on underneath. Do you know what I mean? And the moment someone shone some light on some stuff that was going on, I got off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That was the truth. I got off because I said, listen, I'm scared of this feeling. One, I don't know how to name it. Two, it's bringing up shitty feelings. Three, where am I going to go with it? Four, it's bringing up bad memories. And the list goes on.
Yeah.
You know, and I got myself to a place where it was easier to use than to look in the mirror or someone hold a mirror to me and say, have a look at that.
Yeah. Very difficult. I mean, I remember being in group and one of the staff members, same thing you were saying, how you doing today, Ed? I said, I'm fine. He said, I know, in general you are fine, but we need you to start talking about the stuff you don't want to talk about. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, what do you mean? Isn't the stuff you don't want people to know about yourself?
Yeah.
What makes you paranoid? What makes you fearful? What makes you anxious? What makes you choose to use rather than to live? Do you know what I mean? So I started to see that real strength was being able to ask for help. Real strength was being able to say, that makes me scared, that makes me afraid, or that makes me insecure, or that makes me jealous, or that makes me paranoid, or that makes me angry. And just being able to verbalize that and recognize that that didn't make me weaker, that didn't make me less than. Yeah, and being able to put my hands up and say that I have issues that I really need help with didn't make me less of a person. You know, so as soon as I made a conscious choice, and I was encouraged to make that conscious choice, it didn't come easy. I was encouraged and loved to make that conscious choice that, listen, unless you actually ask for help and are willing, you know, to show that, like, yo, help me, yeah, there's only so much that can happen. Externally, things will change, but internally, things will stay the same. And it's only a matter of time before a certain set of circumstances bring a certain type of trauma that takes you back to where you don't want to be. You know, so I was lucky enough that the rehab where we met, it was intense, and everybody associated with it had been through what we've been through. Yeah. So they were able to, like you said, about put that mirror up in front of me and say to me, look, this is you. Yeah, this is what we see. Yeah. And one of the things that was pivotal in my surrender, yeah, was the fact that they said to me, look, we can see that you're really good at looking after other people, yeah, but you're crap at looking after yourself. Because you've taken on this identity that if I can help X, Y, Z, and the crazy thing is that I was willing to go to the ends of the earth to help people that were outside of my immediate family. Yeah, that demand them. Do you understand me? That supposed code that I had, I was willing to go to hell and back.
You know what? I remember some of this as well, because I remember you asking for the phone. And for those that are watching, obviously these guys don't know, for those that are watching, 10-minute phone call 3 times a week, right? Bang. First phone call, family, second phone. And I remember you ringing other people and calling shots out there in Brixton. And I'm sort of there like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah, you want to help him.
What's this guy doing? He's got 10 minutes to speak to his family, but he's talking to Uncle Tim about
this and
about
that.
Beverly and da 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 da. And I looked like, and I'm like, you know, and I also remember, I remember it so well. You was in rehab, and you bumped into someone trying to get into another rehab, and you was trying to, and this is you, this is Edmund, right? Still looking grey from just walking into rehab.
Yeah, no doubt.
Still looking really, really ill, and still kind of finding your feet. But in the same breath, a couple of weeks after you was there like, oh, that guy, man, I need to get him into that other rehab. And I was like, yo, you need to look after you.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I think I even remember having a word with staff, and I said, "Listen, he's just bumped into someone who's thinking about. Did you want to call him?
Yeah, I wanted
you
to help.
Call him, innit?"
Yeah, I wanted to help. And to be honest,
Yeah,
I think that the guy actually called in. Yeah, he called the rehab.
Yeah.
Pretending to be my brother, so that we could talk.
There we go.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Pretending to be my brother, but the
Yeah.
staff kind of sussed him out, and do you know what I mean? And but yeah, I needed time.
Again, yeah.
I needed time to recognize how ill I was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I saw something in them that I wanted. I saw that a life of abstinence, looked attractive for the first time in my life. You know, and I'm 54 now. Yeah. So there's a part of me that, I'm 54. When's this really going to start changing for me? And they said to me, just cool. Yeah. Put the work in. Yeah, and you will see the benefit. So I committed to doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like you were saying that, people expected me to leave and whatever, or not once I'd even done the program, then leave. Yeah, but what I saw was that I had an opportunity that was what I was looking for if I chose it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I chose it to be. So I embraced the principles of learning to live a new life.
Because they, you know what? I remember they even gave you blessings. They even gave you the blessing to say, listen, we know you're a family man. If you need to go back down south, you go.
Yes.
I remember them conversations in the office, and they were saying, oh man, you know what? True say he's got a big family, so he's going to have to go back, man.
But luckily enough, my children were grown. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't as if I had young kids to go back to. The relationship with my ex-partner, that was broken down. Even though during treatment I was very much like, I want to get back with her. I was just told to hang fire and see how I felt once I'd finished. So when I did finish and I started to go back, I realized that I had changed, but nothing down there had changed. And that's not disrespect to anything negative to them. I was just a different person, or I was becoming a different person. Because the person I was when I left treatment, after 9.5 months, is not the person that I am today, coming up to 5 years clean.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And like that, the journey has continued. So I learned to, so these are the principles that makes my recovery work for me, in the sense that I wake up in the morning and I decide what my day is going to be like.
Yeah.
Not circumstances, not my feelings, not anything else, but do you know what? I want to have a good day today, and I'm choosing to have a good day, irrespective of what comes my way. Taking time to do simple things like some readings, a prayer, a bit of meditation, to center myself, to remind myself of where I've come from, what direction I want to go in, and recognize that all I need to do is just do today. Do you know what I mean? Because when I start time traveling and thinking about what's going to happen in a year, or what's going to happen even next month, while I'm time traveling, I'm not present right here, right now. So I was taught to do that, and I embraced that. I was taught to stay connected, stay vulnerable. I recognized that wasn't a weakness, and the longer I did it, the more it became a strength. I was taught to create my tribe. Create a set of people that I could trust what they say. Not because they co-sign my shit, or not because they tell me what I want to hear, but because they tell me the truth. Because there's a bag of man I know that will tell me exactly what I want to hear. And there's a certain group of men that they'll tell me exactly what I need to hear. And I'd come to the point where I knew that was more beneficial, that was more productive, and it was more wholesome for me. You
know what? Talking about your tribe, because a lot of, I say my people, right? I'll say my people. A lot of lads from our culture, non-recovering addicts. I'm talking like family and friends and that. And when they see my pictures on social media, or when they see who I roll about with, when they see who my people are, who my tribe are, do you know what I mean? And it's cool. It's not that we didn't, but I remember you asked me, right? I remember you said to me, you pulled me, I think it was 2, 3, 4, we were a few months in anyway. And I remember he asked me, he said, yo, Shy, because we was the only 2 coloured man in there, right, going back to it. And this is really important. I definitely feel this is really important. I remember he saying to me, he said, yo, how do you feel about being the only coloured guy in here? Do you remember that?
Most definitely.
And I said to you, I couldn't give a about colour. I couldn't. I really couldn't. And I said this to you. I said, yo, we're here to save our lives, man. And we are here to save our lives. So it's not about, so what, that is a part of someone else's culture, that is a part of someone else's culture. I tell you, and I know this now, and I know this for you as well. I love my tribe. You know what I mean? And my tribe is multicoloured.
Oh, no doubt.
You know what I mean? My tribe is multicoloured and I trust these people, even if they're 10, 15 years younger than me. Why? Because I know that what they're going to give me is going to be gold. You know, and the people that we move with and the you know, the recovery persona itself, nobody ever gives you a bum stare. Nobody ever tries to do you wrong. Nobody ever tries to, you know what I mean, pull your pants down in a certain situation. And practicing honesty, practicing principles is what I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That good way of living. And I ain't got no qualms in saying this, and the same as what you said as well. You know, Brixton will always be Brixton. Normanton will always be Normanton.
Oh, no doubt.
Right? And where my mum lives, and I've shared this before, and I know you know this, where my mum lives, I very rarely go back to Derby, right? But when I do, I'd love to have drove my flashy car down the high street. Nah, I go around the back, the country lanes way, around the back of Zinfin, see my mum, and I'm straight back out the same way. Because it's not about seeing old people.
Oh.
It's not about culture. One of the boys from the treatment centre, I've name drop him, I don't care because I respect him for it. Parky said, he says to me, the day that you let go of your understanding of what your expectations are from your culture and what you think, how they think you want to be, is the day you'll find freedom. I went, what the does that mean? What does that mean? What does that even mean? And I walked away and I went back to him. I said, Dave, is that what you're saying? And he went, that's exactly what I'm saying. And then the penny started dropping after a bit. And
It's
I said,
difficult but freeing
Yeah.
when it happens.
yeah. And you know what? I'll forever be grateful to Parky for saying that. You know what I mean? There was a few examples there. It says, you don't need this in your life. You don't need that in your life. You don't need that in your life. Go away, do something yourself. Be your own person. Carve your own path. You know what I mean? Don't walk down a path that's already been pre-carved because that's not my idea of life.
Yeah. And it's not your path.
It's not my path. I'm not going to be indoctrinated with it. My freedom is in my heart, with my tribe.
Yeah, no
whether
doubt.
you're black, white, yellow, different from Brixton, Normanton, Sweden, I don't care.
Don't matter.
You know, so I just felt like sharing that. You know what I mean? Because recovery is. I've moved with different people, right? Educated, uneducated. You know. People that got a couple of quid, people that haven't, you know, religious and not, so forth, and back and forward. Hands down, my recovery circle is the best set of people that I've ever come across. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, it was, like I said at the get-go, do you know what I mean? I've always wanted to be a part of. And I've been a part of many things, you know, but none of them were like this. That's not to say that I didn't meet some really beautiful people, do you know what I mean, in the midst of that jungle, which is South London. You know, I met some people that my relationship with them are concrete. Do you know what I mean? Because they're concrete. Yeah, they do things in a way. They weren't people that I used with, or they were people that were living good lives. But I separated myself from those people when I wanted to do what I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? But I still have those relationships with them. Do you know what I mean? But like, just going on from what you were just talking about, there is the truth is that, you know, love can come from any colour of person. Truth, you know, loyalty, understanding, honesty, good communication will come from any people. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what they look like. And within any group of people, there are good, bad, and indifferent people. Do you know what I mean? So I needed to learn about, like, recovery isn't just not using. Yeah, it's learning to live a new way of life. Yeah. And I say a new way of life because my old life was negative. my old life was just based on what I wanted and how I felt. Yeah, even though, like you were talking about earlier on, a lot of the time I didn't know exactly what I felt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, to be able to get here today, for the fact that, like, you even invited me to come down and for us to just sit and share, do you know what I mean? And to break spiritual bread, yeah, it came from the fact that I was told, look, if you can let people in to help and live by principle, yeah, your life, you'll be fine. Your life will be good. That doesn't mean that I don't face challenges. That doesn't mean that difficulties don't arise. But since I came into recovery, true recovery, yeah, there's never been one day where I thought whatever I'm facing, drugs would help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Never.
never thought
Yeah.
that. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be honest to to the people that's watching. That's not to say that using thoughts never come to my head, but when they do, I play the tape forward. Okay, so if I do, then what? Yeah, and my life shows me that if I do, what will happen is what has always happened. Yeah, I will try to control it. I will try to be like the guy who knows what he's doing, but at some point, it will start taking more from me than it's ever gonna give me. Do you know what I mean? So I stay connected. I do the things that are based around recovery. Yeah. So, but I'm privileged enough now that, from somebody that was unemployable to be now I'm somebody that is full-time employed. I have my own flat. I've got my own car. Things that seemed impossible. Do you know what I mean? Because even if I've had them in the past, they just went. Yeah.
And just to say as well, you've dedicated your life now. You don't need to say where, but you've dedicated your life now to putting your recovery and your experience into your work life, and it's helping others.
Listen, I was told one thing, that when I walked into rehab, they said to me, what you think you know now, park it. Yeah. In due time, it will become of benefit. Right here, right now, it won't help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the experiences that I've been through, I have a wonderful job. Do you know what I mean? My job is helping people in the community, doing physical activities, but people who are coming into recovery.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gives me an opportunity to do physical stuff with people, and help them to start building a life and helping them to walk that road to independent living if they want it. Because a bag of people say they want it, just like me in the past, innit? But what they really want is just the negative consequences to disappear.
Yeah.
That the work it takes to become a real person, they don't want to do that.
Love that. Absolutely love the fact that you a lot of people come into recovery, and they call them spiritual thieves, right?
Yeah. Come and take,
and then get their life back together. Now I've been a spiritual thief. I've done it before. Got clean, collected all the key rings, got the badges, clean set of clothes on,
Gone.
put 3 stone in weight on, gone. Never given back. But this, what you're doing now, giving back, helping others through means of physical, and physical activity, recovery, and housing. Fantastic, absolutely love it. So Ed, give us some of your best bits in recovery. So if it was like,
My mum asking me my mum saying to me that it was all right for me to stay at her house. Yeah.
Wow.
A house that I was not welcoming in the past. One of the biggest days for me was my mum asked me to go to Brixton to buy some yam and a couple of things. And then she said, on the way, here's my keys, got a set of keys for yourself.
wow.
Yeah. The keys that she'd taken off me in the past. Yeah. Being at one of my daughter's graduation from uni. Yeah. A day where I was having a conversation with my daughter and she said to me, Dad, I just want you to know that I feel I can talk to you now simply because of how open and honest you are with me now. I feel like I've got my dad. Not my dad back, but like I've actually got my dad. Yeah. Each year that I'm clean feels wonderful. Do you know what I mean? Being able to go back and spend Christmases with my mum and go and visit the family. My grandchildren being born and me being welcome. See what I'm saying? Yeah, me being welcome. Like my daughter saying to me, yo, Dad, I've had a baby. are you coming down? And I can fly down there and spend time with my grandchildren. You know, those are the kind of things. Making new friends, new experiences, climbing Snowdon, going on holiday with a group of guys and jumping off piers and swimming in the sea and going up to Scotland. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? I remember, I know you remember this. So I caught you as one of the music groups, and this is beautiful. One of the music groups, and so we're all learning how to play a different instrument. And I've walked through, and you had a drum in between your legs.
Come on.
Right?
Yeah.
You had a drum in between your legs, and you was you was doing the main beat through it. And I looked at the smile on your face, and it radiates today. That smile still radiates today. These things are small, but people don't understand how big these things are. For somebody that walked around frowning for years and years. I remember walking in that room, because I remember what was going on for you at that time. And I just seen you smile, and you nearly made me cry.
Come on now.
You know, and that stuff there, being able to smile is one of the biggest gifts that being, you know what I mean, and giving your family that reward, and the list is endless. I could go on with it, but I was looking earlier on. I was looking at a picture of about 30 man when we went to Snowdon. Do you know what I mean? Climbing up a mountain and coming back and swimming in some mad
crazy
water.
cold water. Yeah, some insanely cold water.
You know.
Listen, I'm from a Stockholm housing estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody had said to me at any point in my life I was going to climb a mountain, and shut up.
Yeah.
What are you chatting about? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Unless there's a shot up there, I'm not going up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been up Snowdon 3 times. Things like that blows me away. Like, people trust me, not because of who I know and what I can do for them, but because they just check for me. Yeah, I see that invaluable. Yeah, it's invaluable. So, yeah, I mean, I countless things, but for me on a personal level, peace of mind. I listened to somebody talking one day, and he said that nowadays he goes to sleep, he doesn't pass out, and in the morning he wakes up, he doesn't come to. Yeah, and I do that today. I go to sleep peacefully, I wake up peacefully. Yeah. And I used to pray for that. One day I used to pray, can I just one day wake up and feel all right with myself? Can I one day put my head down and not need to have a certain substance in my system to be able to pass out? To be able to just sleep.
Yeah.
Like normal people, just sleep.
Just sleep.
Yeah.
Why,
you know?
why is that such a thing?
Mate, for over 30 years, I didn't get that.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Like, to be okay with me, and to be okay with me enough that other people are okay with me. Yeah? And it's not because of who I know and what I can do, but it's just because I'm me.
Yeah.
And I can't put a price on that.
Born in 92, I was born on my own. No friends, no chicks, no pricey clothes. Named Little Bobo, daddy wasn't around. I grew up on Bricky Hill with big ants from town. No beef them days, it was fully in school. Fist fights all the time, no shiny tools.